suppressed violence of his movements. He took a deep breath and stepped away from the wagon. Working half the night to save a woman beyond saving had left him exhausted and emptied out.
"Ready,"
he said, signaling for Willie to go.
"You can't save 'em all, Doc."
Willie took the reins. He clicked his tongue and drove off, the wagon disappearing into the weightless veil of fog until only the hollow clop of the horse's hooves could be heard. By this time tomorrow, the dead woman would be loaded into a contract box and buried among the sagebrush and sand dunes of Limekiln Point at a cost of $2.60 to the city and county of San Francisco. Lou heard a few muffled pops, fireworks or more likely gunshot, coming from the waterfront district. He was so hardened to the sound that he felt no alarm. He rotated his aching shoulders, feeling knots and twinges of tension in every fiber of his body. His meddlesome friends and well-meaning family liked to remind him that he was a vigorous man in his prime, but he didn't feel that way at all. Each patient tore off a little piece of his heart, yet he carried on. This was his entire life now. He didn't know what else to do. Long ago, he'd stopped questioning himself. It didn't matter why he was compelled to go down to the seamy underbelly of the city night after night, to find the sickest, most hopeless souls, to gather them in like a blighted harvest, to nurture and heal, or to comfort and then let go. It took a certain measure of arrogance to practice medicine with such doggedness, but it was more than arrogance that drove him. He was like a miner who kept sifting and searching through the detritus of humanity for a glint of redemption. No matter how many people he rescued, dozens or hundreds or more, all his heroics would never make up for the one he'd failed to save. He had spent the past 10 years trying to reclaim that moment. The distant bong of the clock in Montgomery Square signaled 5 o'clock. It was as good a time as any to head home, catch a few hours' sleep, then see his regular patients. The medical wing of the Mission Rescue League would be served during the day by his associates. The league was staffed by nuns and volunteers whose chief qualification was the only one that really mattered: compassion. He collected his heavy satchel, jammed on a hard felt Homburg hat that had seen better days, and climbed into his one-horse phaeton. A sporting vehicle he favored for the speed of getting through the city streets. Few horses had the strength and stamina to climb the undulating hills of San Francisco, and people generally made use of the cable cars whose steel ropes connected the commercial area like thick webs. Blue rarely used cable cars. His horses came from his family's own breeding farm. He'd left behind a haunted childhood and grew up there, racing along the seaside cliffs on light-boned, muscular horses that quickly became famous throughout the region. Life had been unimaginably sweet there, at the ranch his parents called Cielito. So sweet, it had left him ill-prepared for the harshness of the world. He'd learned the easy lessons of life, but not the hard ones. He used to believe life was made for joy, and that love lasted forever. He joined the Union Army, and he actually believed, at the outset, that he fought for a just cause. Only later did he discover that even justice had its horrors, and the war was not even the worst thing that had happened to him. He drove through the damp miasma rolling in off the bay. His route took him past filthy-looking hells with signs advertising steam beer, 5 cents. He passed the occasional reeling drunk, busy hod carrier, scurrying woman, or furtive child fleeing with stolen goods. In Keeler's Alley, a pair of Barbary Coast crimps headed toward the waterfront, supporting their human cargo between them, a half-conscious man whom they'd drugged, probably with a Mickey fin. With no real hope of success, Blue pulled alongside the crimps and slowed the horse.
"Looks like your friend's in a bad way,"
he said. He recognized this pair. The younger of the two wore a jaunty hat with a distinctive pheasant feather in the brim.